Alright guys, welcome back to Frugal Homestead. So, a lot of you have been waiting for this video, especially in the Facebook groups. We've talked about it over on MeWe in the Homestead groups. In Food Fight over on MeWe, we've been talking about this. So we've been cranking away at it. We finally come up with a bagel recipe that's healthy. That's right, a full-blown bagel recipe with 59 to 60 calories per bagel. So, just so you know, a Lender's bagel that's about that size, it's like 200 or 300 calories for the plain ones. All right, and like 40 carbs. It's crazy. But we love our bagels, so we're going to show you how to make it. It's really simple. There is some key things you have to know, so you're going to want to follow along. Now, we will put the actual recipe down in the description box. We won't type out every step because we show you here, but we'll give you the ingredients down there. So the first and most important thing that I can say on this is, if you want to make these taste actually like bread, you're going to have to go the extra step and find unflavored protein powder. That's key. That's clutch. We've made them with vanilla, but they come out real sweet. They're not so great. I mean, they're good, but they're not bread. Yeah, they're not where the full-blown starchy yumminess of bread. They're too sweet with the vanilla protein powder. It does work though. That said, how much is in each scoop of the vanilla protein powder as far as nutritional, baby, for like calories and carbs?
So there's 100 calories.
Okay.
Only 3 carbs. And 19 grams of protein
now,
in this one. Yeah,
this is a concentrate, which is kind of like the original form of whey protein. So it's not going to have like the 20s or even the 30s as far as protein goes. This is how it was first made when they first started. It's the least processed. We get this from My Protein USA. And if you pay attention, usually you can grab like a 40% off code. This bag right here is a 5.5 pound bag. And I think it's somewhere in the neighborhood when he's 40% off, around like $35. I mean, it's way cheaper than buying it in the tubs. But if you can find a tub of unflavored from your local GNC, Walmart, doesn't matter. But this will matter what your calories are. This is the starting point. This is the key to this recipe. The lower calories you can get per scoop, the better off this is going to be on lower calories, because this is 100 calories per scoop. If you start buying stuff that's got like 200 calories a scoop, you're going to blow the numbers of this all out of the water. So that's an important thing to remember. Let's get started. We've preheated the oven to 350. Now, this is yeast based. This is real bread we're making here, guys. So we had to pitch it before we started. So when I say pitch it, what I mean, because I use the term in my own way, I take a bowl and I put in 1 tablespoon of Truvia, which is a sugar-based low-calorie sweetener. So this just makes it grow faster. You could use whatever sweetener because it doesn't actually grow on this per se. Then we use no sugar added applesauce, 2 tablespoons. This is what's really going to make it grow. All right, so we put 1 tablespoon and 2 tablespoons into a bowl. Then we add 8 ounces of warm water, warm to the touch, not hot, not cold. Then we pitch in 1 tablespoon of yeast or 1 packet of yeast, whichever. Fast dries is best we find. And then I give it just a real quick mix so I don't damage the yeast. And we set it on top of the stove while it's preheating just to give it a warming effect, to help it grow. You're going to see it form like a skin on the top of bubbles and like brownness. It'll start to grow up a little bit. That's when you pretty much know it's ready. But for normal terms, 5 to 10 minutes, it'll be ready to go. So once you've got that done, it's important not to mess with the rest of the ingredients until that's ready. I did that once and screwed this up bad, because if you put the dry ingredients in and then try and add the egg, it's going to just turn into a mess. It will not work. So that's an important thing to know. Let me grab the yeast.
I'm going to get some of these extra things out of your way so you can work.
Thank you. So there's the yeast. I don't know how well you guys can see that. I don't want to dump it because it'll stink if I dump it everywhere. But it's got that foam on top. And then what I'm going to do is this is our bowl we're going to mix everything in. So, what we're going to do is we're going to start off with how much?
3/4 cup of flour.
Okay, so 3/4 of a cup of flour. That's all the flour we're going to use in this recipe. Now, you can use whatever kind of flour you want, but remember, just because a flour you think is healthier in one way, it may not be calories wise. So you may say, well, I want it multigrain. That's great. But your multigrain flour may not be the same calories as this. So you have to take that into account.
So this is just plain white flour.
Yeah, you can use either too. You can use self-rising or all-purpose. We've used both. You'll find out why here in a second because we put the other stuff in. So the next step is going to be to put your mix in. So that's your yeast, your water, your applesauce, and your Truvia. Then you take and put your egg in. And that's important. Do not put your egg in your dry ingredients. It'll clump up. It won't mix. So we don't waste things here on the Frugal Homestead. So this will go over on a plate over here, and it'll get smashed up and put in the garden. Now next is 1 teaspoon of garlic powder and 1 teaspoon of salt. Okay? Sorry, honey.
Sorry.
And now we are going to put about a 1/2 tablespoon of baking powder in.
1/2 tablespoon or 1/2 teaspoon?
1/2 teaspoon.
Okay.
Now, I'm unprepared.
You always forget something.
I always forget something. Never fails. So now we're just going to mix. And for you bread makers, this is going to make no sense. So you just have to have some faith in me.
When do you put the protein powder in?
Now.
Okay.
So you're going to put 2.5 scoops of your protein powder in. Don't worry about it if your scoop's a little bigger than ours, or if it's smaller than ours, it's not going to matter. This is going to throw some bread makers for a loop. They're going to be like, this is not how bread works. Okay. So here's the deal. In a standard bread or rolls or stuff, generally there's proof time because it turns into a dough. This will not turn into per se a dough. You need to understand that. This will stay a liquid. I don't care what you do. I don't care how much time you give it to proof. It's staying a liquid. All right? It just is. And we have gone over this and done this. I think we're on our 4th or 5th time. I know my wife was getting sick. She's like, stop. It's low enough. And I was at like 90 calories then. But now we've got it down to 59. I feel like I'm done. But
it's like I really feel like I can get it to 60.
Yeah, and I did.
And it's better.
It's
honestly,
way
than
better.
the 90 calorie ones.
All right, so what I mean by it's always a powder is, it's always a liquid, is it's always a liquid. Don't try to change the texture. We want it just like that. It's important. All right? So now, if you've seen our other videos about our healthy donuts, you know we have these donut pans. We picked these up at Wally World. They were $8 a piece. They are non-stick, but we still do spray them. Now, doesn't matter what you use to make silicone ones, just get you a donut pan. All right, so we take our Pam. And she is going to put in
3 tablespoons in each one, in each cavity.
You want to try and definitely keep it in the actual opening. If you get some in the middle, take your finger and just wipe it off. But put 3 tablespoons in each slot for each bagel. We have done this and measured it 100 times different ways. If you put more than that on, we found that it covers up the hole and closes up. It's not a big deal, but if you want those calories, you need to follow the directions of this really close. Now this also is low carb, low sugar. I don't care what kind of health issue it is, this is going to fit in. You may have to go with like a gluten-free flour or adjust otherwise to make it fit what you need, but it's still going to be better than anything you can buy off the shelf. And it also is real bread. This isn't some crap that says, here, take a couple eggs, you're going to make bread. No, this is bread. This is the real deal.
And how many does it make?
12. This batch will make 12, no problem. You do have to realize, though, any substitutions, you have to redo your own numbers. we are on kind of a quest here to live a little bit healthier of a lifestyle. And this is one of the ways we're doing it. I actually have lost 30 pounds in the last 5 weeks, 6 weeks. And my wife's on 10, basically. Mm-hmm. And we eat donuts, we eat cake, we eat bagels. It's counting calories, guys. It's not diet. It's a change of lifestyle. We still have yummy stuff. I mean, you guys have seen our videos. I have an
amazing husband who has some awesome recipes.
Yeah, I'm coming up with new ones every day. If you think I'm stopping here, you're sadly mistaken. I got way more coming.
And I take no credit for it. It's totally him. Well, every day I come home from work and he's like, hey, try this.
And we have some supportive friends that eat in different nutritional lifestyles that help us learn a lot. Our friend Gretchen, who's a vegan, teaches us a lot about the importance of a plant-based diet. And I take a lot of things I learned from her and use them in my diet to basically lower the calorie count of our meat-based diet. So,
and she does the same thing. She takes a lot of our recipes and makes them vegan.
Yeah, veganizes them. And she does a good job. She can cook.
She does.
But we listen to everybody in every kind of diet because we can take something away from everybody and learn.
That's right.
And this has been something that I think is the most requested thing I've ever seen on people that are trying to lose weight is how do I still have bread? And now you can. And just if you think that you can't eat this late at night also, I can tell you last night I was fighting to get my calories and we ate 2 or 3 of these before we went to bed. And I still woke up lighter this morning. So don't be afraid of this like it's going to sit like a rock in your gut. Because these actually come out pretty light and airy.
And how long do you cook them for?
Usually I would go 15 minutes. Your elevation is going to control that and dictate that, obviously. But generally, if you push on them and they're hard, like a bagel, you know what I mean? They're no longer where you can like touch it and break the skin, then generally they're done. But I've found 15 minutes up to 20 minutes, depending upon your elevation, your stove temperature and stuff. Now this batch looks to have overrun, so she'll split the excess over the pans because we don't want to go too crazy and put it all in one. Because then, like I said, the hole closes over because these still rise. You're really going to enjoy these guys. We have been making sandwiches a lot with them. Buying the thin sliced cheese and the thin sliced chicken. I believe it's 6 pieces of thin sliced chicken is only 70 calories. So when you start doing the numbers, you know, we're at like 100, 120 calories for a sandwich out of this with half a piece of thin sliced cheese, a couple pieces of that thin sliced chicken, lettuce, tomato, and some pickles. So you can just imagine what kind of lunch. You could have 3 of these in a sitting in lunch and still be in your calories easily.
There you are, sir.
Thank you, honey. So as you can see, she's really good at doing that and not getting it in the centers. If you do, you just take your finger and kind of wipe it off because it'll help. I don't know that I can do much more than kind of do that because I want to make a mess. But let's get these in the oven, honey, and get these cooking. We will time it exactly and let you guys know exactly what it took here in Ohio to bake these. And obviously your elevation are different, but I find that most people that actually live at elevation already know that and adapt their own ovens to it. So we'll be back when these are done. Alright guys, and we're back. It's been 15 minutes. Let's get them out of the oven.
They smell amazing.
Alright. So you can see the the darkening on the top. You want these out of the pan immediately. My wife already knows to start catching. When you make bagels, you dump the bagels. Okay.
Oh, they smell so good.
Alright. So now, back side, front side.
Best part of the cooking.
Hot. Cut that one kind of crooked.
Piping hot, fresh bagels.
No joke. Serious bagels there. Ow, that one's hot. Let's do a profile cut. See if we can get that on camera.
Let's do a taste test. Those are perfect.
Oh, perfect. But I actually like them like this. These have been in a baggie in the fridge for about, I don't know, 2 days, 3 days. I like them like that a little bit. These are nice if you've got like a soup or some kind of, well, if you could even put a little tiny bit of butter on them. But the thing about these is you don't have to feel guilty if you want to sit there and munch on a few. They go great with like soups. We cut them in half and have been putting on some strawberry rhubarb. Was that one? No?
Sorry. Strawberry fig jam that my brother made.
Yeah, so we've been putting that on like super thin because obviously he makes it normal style with the heavy sugar. So we put it on just barely put any on. Eat it on this. It's a perfect snack.
Mm-hmm. Now you gotta cook you some.
What? You're gonna eat all 12, really? It's pretty easy to know your tops and bottoms, which makes it nice because they're a little bit more done on the bottoms. So when you cut them and you're stacking your sandwich, the bottom doesn't like to soak up moisture. That's real nice when you're building that amount of sandwiches and you're putting lots of stuff on like tomatoes and pickles and stuff. It really works out well.
The bottoms are my favorite.
I know. Come in here, you cut a couple in half, she eats all the bottoms and runs away. But if you look at it, look at how it bounces. That's bread, guys. That isn't a bunch of eggs. That isn't a bunch of cheese that they're trying to make some kind of weird recipe with. This is bread. Now, 12 of these. So let's go first. How much is in the batch?
The entire batch is 702 calories.
Okay.
It's 118 carbs.
Okay.
And 61 grams of protein.
All right. So break this down. How much is one?
59 calories.
Okay.
10 carbs.
All right.
And 5 grams of protein.
So, I will say that like a lender's bagel of this size or a standard bagel this size, which is like a 3.5-inch bagel, they are generally 200 calories, 40 carbs, and 6 grams of protein. So generally speaking, it's got you by 1 gram of protein, but we're killing it by, I don't know, 30 carbs a piece and 150 calories. I mean, come on now, guys. You can't get much better than that.
Mm-mm.
Now, I do have plans to grow this recipe and do some other things, though. So be looking for those in the future. And if you haven't seen them already, check out our healthy donuts, the healthy waffles. I mean, we're living the lifestyle now. We still get to be on our homestead eating all this good, yummy stuff. But yet, we don't have to do without because we're getting healthy doing it. So I'm going to get back to eating all of these and give her none because I still have this many calories left for the day. Easily.
Half that many calories left for the day.
You only get half as many calories, so. But we're going to get out of here. I hope you guys have enjoyed it. I hope you guys have all the information you need. Obviously, if you can't find the protein powder you want or you want some at a reasonable price, we're not sponsored by My Protein. That's why I don't have a discount code for you guys. But I got to admit, their products are good and cost effective. We use the vanilla for our, in the morning for our waffles. And we use the unflavored for all our baking, doing stuff like this. And we've got lots more to come. So make sure you stay with us. Hit that subscribe button so you see all the upcoming recipes and all the other zany things we do around here because spring's coming. And you guys are going to see the videos start flying out with all the things we get done.
Leave us comments on things that you might like us to try and make too. Because I'll make him make them.
Yeah, I've already got people on me about cornbread. You know how hard cornbread's going to be? Oh.
And pretzels.
And pretzels. Yeah, pretzels. Well, we're close on pretzels. Let's give you that.
Pretty close there.
All right, so until next time, I'm Tony.
I'm Missy. We'll see you in the next video.